Good evening and welcome to Tribune Sports Live. Eric Harris sitting in for Alan Taylor tonight. I'm Zach Steele. Another week in the books and two teams in the area, 2 wins.
That's right, 2-0 on the week. Both teams look good out there. Of course, Pinson Valley took the night off, but they'll be back in action again this week.
When we come back, we're going to talk about the Hewitt Huskies and their region victory over Thompson.
At Bryant Bank, we focus on you. You'll never have to worry about being just another number in the system. When you're a member of the Bryant Bank family, our Bryant Bankers will work to understand who you are, where you want to go, and how we can help you to get there. We're big believers in developing relationships with our customers, and we value friendships we make along the way. Bryant Bank provides unbeatable service and legendary results. Bryant Bank, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
Well, it was tough. I mean, they're a good football team. I mean, you saw their defensive line is one of the best maybe the best we've played. They're just really, really talented. So it's hard to get in many yards. I mean, their defense is really good this year, and you got to earn every yard. And I think you saw that tonight. Our defense came out and played great the first half. It was big. We got to do a better job of trying to finish off a game. I think we had opportunities. We made a couple mistakes in the first half there in the second quarter that could have been a 28-0, 35-0 at half, and then it's a little bit different second half. So I'm disappointed we didn't do that, but hey, it's a region win, so we're fired up.
I mean, we had a regular turn on, and I saw the ball, saw the scene. We had great blocks, and I just hit it. I mean, it was great blocks up front.
How big of a win was this for your team tonight? Just this is a tough region to get another region win.
I mean, it put us in great playoff position. Going 4-1. I think it's 4-1 in the region. I mean, it was great for the team. I mean, it was a good confidence builder. Man, I mean, we just got to keep going, play 4 quarters.
How tough is it for a guy like you that plays both ways a little bit? Is that a challenge at all?
I mean, it is, but I mean, I accept it. The coaches would trust me to do that, but I mean, James a great running back. I mean, I don't really have to sub in a lot. He does his job good.
You made a couple of plays in the secondary tonight. Breaking up a pass, and which do you prefer, offense or defense?
I love them both. I love the coaches on both sides. I mean, they're great coaches. I mean, I'll do whatever they ask me to do.
The Hewitt Huskies improved to 4-1 in the region after jumping out to a 21-0 lead against Thompson. They cruised to a 35-17 victory. Your thoughts on this one, Eric?
Yeah, it's a big region win for them. Like you said, it improves their record now to 4-1 in league play. They're gonna invite Mountain Brook in this week, and Mountain Brook's kind of struggling a little bit. That should be a game they can take care of. And then October 23rd, that's when it all really comes down to the wire, and that's when the big Hoover Bucks come in, or actually they go to Hoover, and that'll be a big game right there. It'll pretty much decide who's number 2 in that region.
Well, looking at the Region 3 standings, and we'll go ahead and jump to that, the Huskies are tied for second with Hoover. As you mentioned, Spain Park sitting in the catbird seat undefeated, and it looks like Hoover and Hewitt are going to be playing for that home playoff spot in the first round.
Absolutely, that's huge. And I think Hewitt just needs to keep doing what they're doing. They're kind of leaning on this big offensive line that they have. Give the ball to Jerry and Street, let Zach Thomas do his thing. And if they just stay true to their self, they really look good moving forward here.
Talking about this game Friday night, the Huskies, as we said, jumped out to an early 21-0 lead. Could have been worse, and Coach Floyd was a little disappointed the Huskies didn't put the game away in the first half.
That's right, and it sounded really similar to the game I covered of Hewitt-Trussville this year. Is at Gardendale, and in a similar situation there where you have a chance to kind of put this game away early, but you can't quite get there. And I know that Coach Floyd's really looking for that out of this team right now to really throw that knockout punch. But sometimes it takes a little time for things like that to develop.
You mentioned Jerry and Street, 23 carries, 120-plus yards, 3 touchdowns in this ball game. He's in the top 5 among leading rushers in the state of Alabama in all classifications, really having a good year.
That's right. He is obviously an Ole Miss commit right now, so he's got a lot of talent. And that's just the identity of this team right now. If I remember correctly, I believe they ran the ball 50-plus times against Thompson, and that's what they're hanging their hat on right now.
Huskies also made some noise on special teams. Grayson Cash who was kind of everywhere in this ball game, had an 80-yard kickoff return for a touchdown. He made several plays on defense. He even spelled Jerry and Street some in this ball game running the football.
That's right. He's just a do-it-all guy right now. And I believe that's what Coach Floyd said. He's just a football player. I mean, you plug him in out there, you let him play on special teams, you let him play offensively, defensively. I mean, you just put this guy in situations, and he knows how to make those plays happen and, move his team to victory.
Want to talk about what's going to be really important for the Huskies going forward, and one of the things they've improved so much on this year on the defensive side of the football. Last year they were giving up 31 points a game. This year that number's down to 23 points a game, and that 8 points may not seem like much, but it really makes a big difference.
Oh, it is. I mean, Rudy Griffin right now is doing a great job with that defense. They're solid up front. You got playmakers on the outside like Cash. If they can just continue that moving forward, the Hoover Bucks really have their hands full in a couple weeks.
Absolutely. Well, the Huskies host Mountain Brook, as we said, Friday night at home. When we come back, we're going to talk about the Clay Chalkville Cougars. Just keep on keeping on. We'll be back.
Trussville Vision Care is now proud to offer sports vision training for athletes. This sports-specific training improves hand-eye coordination and reaction time. As a former college athlete, Dr. Steele knows how important perfect vision is to succeed on the athletic field. For athletes, 20/20 vision is not enough. Trussville Vision Care.
You know, the funny thing is, I told them today at walkthrough, that's what's coming, okay? And then I told them in the pregame meal, you're going to get a double pass. Then I told them before we went out, you're going to get a double pass. We got a double pass.
That's exactly what happened. Coach, after that, defense really stepped it up. You got a few interceptions tonight.
Yeah.
How big was that for you?
Well, you know, Kenyon Hasbury's interception was huge. C.J. Tony played great. You know, all the kids defensively brought in. We run a completely different scheme for us this week based on what they did, and we were able to execute that with 2 10th graders on the field. So I was dang proud of our defense, but, you know, the offense, you know, they just keep getting better and better and better. They were able to do a lot of great things tonight. Of course, you know, Nico had an incredible night, made some plays that, you know, makes him a big-time kid. I thought after the first quarter, our quarterback played better. He played a lot smarter, and that's what we want him to do. But, man, I am proud of these guys because, you know, it's a hard thing to, you know, just win and not let up mentally if you're a young person. And I want to tell you something else. Shays Valley Mounties are in a good hands with Coach Parchins and his staff because their schemes are solid. Their kids are trying to execute the best they can. And for the long term, they will have a perennial winner over there if they'll let David have enough time. I was super impressed with what they brought to us tonight. They gave us some problems.
Absolutely. Coach Ty obviously gave them problems tonight.
Yeah.
With his arm, also with his legs. How'd you feel about him kind of utilizing both of his strengths?
Well, besides when he was trying to, you know, throw some balls we don't really need to throw, and maybe should have ran one and get us a first down, get us out of the hole, makes us punt. Now, besides that, he calmed down, did a good job with running the offense. You know, Coach Floyd does such a great job with him. He understands him and he keeps his head right. So, you know, even if he starts off a little shaky, you know, Stewart can get with him and he has the magic touch.
Welcome back. The Clay Chalkville Cougars hosted Shades Valley in a region matchup last Friday night. And Shades Valley, with first-year head coach David Partridge, they got a test and they didn't live up.
That's right. Hey, they came out quick. They had a little trick play ready for the start of that game. It was a little double pass. Coach Jerry Hood said he knew it was coming, but his guys didn't know it was coming because it went for a 72-yard touchdown.
Well, Clay's offense, again, unstoppable, 575 yards of total offense. Ty Pigram amassed 444 by himself, running and passing. This is probably the most prolific offense we've seen in a while.
I mean, it's unreal. It's unreal. Ty Pigram at quarterback, this is on a night where he even struggled passing the ball. The ball was really sailing on him. You know, he just didn't really have control there. But, in the second half, that turned around and, started getting the ball down a little bit. But just what he can do with his legs. I mean, he can improvise so much. If it's covered, he can take off with it. They have a lot of design runs for him, and it's hard to stop.
Clay's defense again, stellar. Other than the trick play, they only give up 7 more points in the ballgame in mop-up time, basically. Again, this defense, they don't get as much publicity as the offense, but they do a pretty good job, too.
Hey, they're doing a great job. Defensive coordinator Sean Talisman, he really holds his defense to the same standard that they have offensively as well, and that's to go out there and dominate the opponent. And like you said, they really did dominate other than the one play there. They very stout. 3 interceptions as well.
Clay's won 22 straight games. They get Woodlawn, kind of a hapless team this week. They should win that ball game. But looking at the region standings, they still have a little bit of work to do. They've got to beat Gardendale to actually win this region outright, and it all kind of hinges on that game in a couple of weeks, and we'll jump ahead and talk about that for a moment.
That's right. You can rank them as high as you want to in the state, even in the country, but they're still number 2 in this region right now. Gardendale hasn't slipped up yet, and it's all going to come down to, once again, October 23rd. That's going to be a really big night for Hewitt and Clay. And that'll be an awesome game to watch between Clay and Gardendale.
I also want to talk about Pinson Valley a little bit. They were off this week. They look like they're going to be in the playoff picture as well. They've got a ball game coming up this week against Centerpoint that they should win. Then they're going to play Shades Valley. In all likelihood, those two are going to be playing for the 3 and 4 spots in that region.
That's right. Once again, on October 23rd, it's a huge night for all of our teams. But as far as this week goes, Pinson Valley should be in good shape against, I think, a 1-6 Centerpoint team, so they should take care of business there. And then Shades Valley, hey, David Partridge has those guys fighting, and when Shades and Pinson play, I really expect a very good ball game there. And there's a lot on the line. Like you said, it's for that number 3 seeding in the playoffs.
Yeah, looking back, Shades played Gardendale off their feet, only lost that game 36-34. So they have some weapons, and they have, a chance to be in these games. And David Partridge, again, a guy that we know pretty well, and his staff with Jeremiah Millington. Those guys are going to do a good job at Shades Valley, and they're having some growing pains in year 1, but we're looking forward to seeing the future with them. So
right.
When we come back, we're going to have our Players of the Week, and we're going to have one of those players in for an interview. We'll be back.
Gunnar Oil would like to invite you to visit one of their 3 stores on Deerfoot Parkway. Both Shell locations on Deerfoot offer delicious Hunt Brothers pizza, one at Highway 11 and the other at Old Springville Road, which was a BP and now has a fabulous new look customers need to see to believe. The Chevron at Happy Hollow Road features mouth-watering pop donuts that are delivered fresh each and every morning. A proud supporter of the community for more than 20 years, offering quality products at a fair price in a clean environment with friendly and efficient service, Gunnar Oil.
Everything is shaping up to be a great night for high school football as far as the weather's concerned. Right now, the forecast calls for clear skies and cooler temps, probably in the upper 60s for kickoff. If anything changes, we'll let you know.
And now it's time for Tribune Sports Live, Players of the Week, brought to you by Gunnar Oil. First up is Grayson Cash from Hewitt Trustful. Grayson was all over the field for the Huskies, making 5 tackles and breaking up 2 passes, recovering a fumble, returning a kickoff for a touchdown, and gaining 21 yards on offense. And for our next Player of the Week, from Clay Chalkville, that's right, you guessed it, senior quarterback Ty Pigram. He finished the game with 444 yards of total offense, 307 passing, and 137 rushing. He went 12 of 21 through the air for 4 scores. Through 7 games, he has 1,559 yards passing with 18 touchdowns and 1 INT. Congratulations to you both, gentlemen. This has been Tribune Sports Live, Players of the Week. Tribune Sports Live is sponsored in part by State Senator Slade Blackwell of District 15. Senator Blackwell represents parts of Talladega, Shelby, and Jefferson counties, including the Trustful area. A former high school and college athlete, Senator Blackwell is pleased to promote our local schools and student athletes. As football season gets underway, it's time to say, Go Huskies, Go Cougars, and Go Indians. Here's to a successful and safe year for all who are involved with high school athletics in our area.
All right, welcome back. We're lucky enough to have one of our players of the week here this week, Grayson Cash of the Hewitt Huskies. Grayson, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So, talk a little bit about the ball game Friday night. You had a kickoff return for a touchdown. Set that up for us and tell us about that kickoff return.
Man, we knew they were pooching the ball a lot, so we couldn't set up our reverse return thing. But I caught it, and then we had great blocks, and it was a big hole, and just hit the seam. So, you're playing both ways a good bit, offense, defense, and special teams. Anything you prefer more, offense, defense, returning kickoffs? Man, I like them all. I'm playing defense a little more than offense because Jarian's a great back. They don't really need me over there right now because he's doing his job. But, I'm liking defense. I'm getting the hang of it.
Very good. So you played a good bit last year as a sophomore. Just comparing last season to this year, tell me where you think you guys are as a team and how much you've improved.
I think we've improved a lot. We're a lot stronger than we were last year. I think another year with our coaching staff has helped a lot. We grew into the offense a lot better, and we got a new system on defense, I think, that suits us better, and we've gotten a lot better, I think.
Very good. All right, so had a big win against Thompson this past Friday night. You got a scrappy Mountain Brook team coming in. Your thoughts on them as you get ready for this ball game?
They're a good team. I know they've had a lot of players hurt this year, but every game's a tough game in this region. We got to come ready to play.
Well, Grayson, we thank you for your time. Thanks for being here. We'll be back. We'll have some predictions for you coming up in just a moment.
Jefferson Memorial Funeral Home and Gardens is home-owned and operated by the Seal family. I've known Eddie Seal and his son Adam for over 25 years. They're community-oriented and, more importantly, good folks who know how to take care of people in their time of need. That's how Jefferson Memorial became Trustful's funeral home and cemetery. Jefferson Memorial is located at 1591 Gadsden Highway. You can call them at 322-0543. Before your need arises, let Jefferson Memorial family take care of your family.
Whether you're looking to buy your first home or you're trying to sell the one you're in now and need advice from a realtor, turn to Lee Marlowe, Realty South Realtor. Contact Lee today at 205-913-9559 or visit Lee at leemarlowehomes.com.
Paul Davis Emergency Services of Northeast Birmingham helps by providing needed cleanup and restoration services. Through the appropriate tools and processes, we avoid wasting valuable time to get your property to its previous state as quickly as we possibly can. Through our experience with restoration services in Birmingham, we can determine the necessary services depending on your property and type of damage, which may include smoke and fire damage restoration, water damage restoration, wind damage restoration, and mold removal. Paul Davis, Recover, Reconstruct, Restore. 205-687-0556.
Welcome back. It's prediction time, and Eric, you're going to sit in for Alan Taylor this week, and you're going to go ahead and make a couple of predictions. We'll start with Hewitt and Mountain Brook. Mountain Brook coming to town to take on the Huskies.
Hewitt and Mountain Brook. Mountain Brook, they've really kept it close against some good opponents this year. So for this one, I'm going to go Huskies still take care of business, a little closer maybe than some think, so I'm going to say 24-10 Huskies.
24-10. I like that score. I think Mountain Brook's going to give the Huskies all they want. They usually do, and they've played, as you said, they've been competitive in pretty much every region game they've played. They've had the ball bounce kind of the wrong way. They've had some injuries. I like the Huskies in this one, 28-17. All right, Clay Chalkville at Woodlawn over at Lawson Field. This looks like a blowout on paper for sure.
And Clay Chalkville has put up over 50 points in their last 3 games. I do not see that stopping this week against Woodlawn, and I'm going to go 55-0 in this one in favor of the Cougars.
I'm right there with you. I think Coach Hood's going to have to work to keep this under 60. Clay 56 zip probably is what I would go with. All right, finally Pinson Valley off last week. This week, they take on Center Point, a region game that they should win.
That's right. I mean, I expect them to come out and really take charge of this game early. They kind of struggled a little bit going into their bye week, 8-0 over Huffman. I think the offense picks it up a little bit. I think they're going to get some guys back from injury, and because of that, I'm going to go 31-7 win for Pinson Valley.
I like Pinson a little bit larger margin of victory here. I like them 42-7. But I think Pinson gets this win and sets up the game next week against Shades Valley to see who gets to travel where in the playoffs.
That's going to be a fun night right there for sure.
All right, that's our show for the week. We'll be back next week with more highlights and more punditry. For Eric Harris, I'm Zach Steele. Good night, everybody.